Wi-Fi is
starting, by the way, so if you have anything you don't want on the camera, don't say it now.
But because the Wi-Fi isn't as strong, we noticed, like, if we went back and we started watching some of that live, it would be like, yeah, and then we...
Yeah,
you would miss like half a conversation because the audio would cut out. Okay. So now it's like we record, and then as soon as we can, we post that video so people can jump on.
Cool.
But my hope is we get a spotlight on you guys and start getting some people out to fuck with y'all. You know.
We haven't even had a grand opening yet.
Oh, for real? It's like that? Okay, we gonna get into that for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's why I had to bring him. I've known him for. Oh, I'm not gonna get into it because.
Yeah.
We'll dive in.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Oh, what the fuck? I just want to open something.
Because actually the girl I'm fucking with now, you cut her brother up too, Zach Johnson.
Oh man, he used to go by
or Zachary, whatever the fuck.
Oh, he had a nickname though, man. And when he said it, I was like, "What the fuck?"
I don't know him like that, but yeah.
Yeah,
he was telling.
Chelsea, right?
They're from Morristown, but I don't know him like that, so I don't know like where he's from.
Did you used to have a man bun?
Yeah. So
I'm almost positive I know exactly what you're talking about. He's good people.
Well, I was sitting at my girl's house and we were talking. And I was like, "Damn, bro, that's a real fresh cut you got there." And he's like, "Yeah,
this had been years ago.
My boy Darrin did it. Yeah, this
dude."
Yes, sir. It was that exact cut.
Dick Johnson, that's his name.
Yeah, Dick.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, that's a fresh cut, bro." He's like, "Yeah, my homeboy Darrin did it." And I was like, "Darrin who?" He's like, "Oh, they call him Haas." And I was like, "Oh shit, I know that motherfucker."
Yeah, man.
Right. And I know we've met a few times, but we haven't actually like met. You know what I mean?
Us?
Yeah. So
all right, so we're gonna start right now. So I'm gonna let you introduce them since they're your guests that you've brought on.
I'm terrible with names, Antwon, right?
Yeah, Antwon.
I'm gonna introduce the show, and then I'll kick it to you so you can introduce them.
ATG, right? Against the
Grain.
But go ahead.
Darrin and Haas, say both.
Darrin Haas, yes, sir. Got you.
All right, and then I'm going to do a little thing in the beginning, so don't be thrown off by it. But I'm trying to be funny, so
trying.
That's exactly right. All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to Juice in the Morning. I'm your host, Justin Juice Kelly. This is one of the, I think, best podcasts we're going to have coming up with the coronavirus, the COVID-19. We are saying fuck it, and we're having strangers in the studio to talk to them about their business. And I'm thinking, Johnny, it's kind of like this song right here. Oh, come on, play, fucker. Nope, it didn't work. Didn't work. Hold on.
Oh, here we go. We only been waiting 40 minutes, bro. You gotta take your time.
Says the motherfucker who has done nothing about the technology, right? Like, am I wrong about this? Who's done literally nothing while I fucking frantically run around this studio and make sure things are working.
What's wrong? I don't know. Something's wrong. This is something's off, man. I don't know.
You're a bitch. Just saying. Like you literally.
If you weren't my boy, I'd fuck.
No, you wouldn't do shit.
I'll choke you out.
Choke you, bro.
All right, well, we're just going to do it from here.
This better be awesome. Jesus Christ, man.
This is what I think of when I'm thinking of what's going on. So that song is what I think of when I think of this coronavirus thing going on. And what's really crazy is I could not think of that song title for the life of me. And I literally went to Google and said the song from the movies that is hee hee ha ha. And Google pulled it up right away. Like it wasn't even a problem. They knew exactly what I was looking for.
So I'm going to hit you with some Burt Kreischer Secret Time. I fuck heavily with like classical symphonies. I listen to that shit all the time, and I don't know why.
I feel like he's bullshitting us most of the time. But anyways, I'm going to let Johnny.
Like
Johnny go ahead and introduce the guests that he brought in today.
Hold on, just saying. I'm just gonna hit search and let you see.
I'm looking at him searching through his phone. I see Juicy J.
No. I listen. Yeah, I listen to a lot of Mozart and shit. But with us today, I'm very excited about this episode. So we got a couple dope-ass barbers from Against the Grain, AGT Barbershop. We got Antwon and Darrin Scott. How y'all doing today?
Great, man. Great. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's great to have y'all in here. I'm excited for this.
It's always fun doing a podcast with people who have not done a podcast before in a studio like this. So I think it's always a good time.
And I always find the best guest on this show. So, you know, I'm just saying.
Here, baby.
Yeah, I swear. Like, I feel like literally everything he said has been bullshit since we started the podcast.
Oh, man. You can't.
I'm curious. Like, I'm curious about what the rest of this show is going to be like.
Jonny in the morning?
Over under on as soon as we put the mics down, he's like, "It's the best fucking episode we've done it. We've done it in 6 months."
But no, I appreciate you guys coming on. It's been
So where are you guys located?
We are located off of East Washington Street, right next to the old Washington Square Mall.
Okay.
Address is 10030 East Washington Street.
Cool. That's what's up.
How long?
Like 40th and Mid-Hoffer, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
How long you been there?
We just opened up in November.
Yeah.
We haven't even had a grand opening yet. We're still kind of putting the shop together.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to like set up an event or something like that and get people out there for you guys. Like, anytime that we have a little bit of lead time to get people somewhere, we can get people there. So, I'm in the middle of putting together a stand-up show in Newcastle, and the last time we did it, we had like over 100 people in the crowd, so it was a good time. I told some bad jokes, and then the rest of the comedians did a good job. But yeah, if you give us some time, I can probably help you guys put together something and we can work together. That's what, I mean, anytime we have people on Juice in the Morning, like all I want to do is make sure that we support them because they're supporting us by coming on the show. So if you guys need any help with that kind of stuff, just let me know.
Well, I mean, we're not here to shit on anybody, but you know, I'm not gonna go there. But I'm saying, you know, if you from the east side, like in Greenfield, like where we're from, and places like that, like.
Dude, there's nowhere.
There's nowhere.
I'm sorry.
There's nowhere.
That's how I found him.
Why not drive 15 extra minutes?
That's how I found him.
You know what I mean?
So there's nowhere in Greenfield. Let me pull over to Washington Street. Met him. I've been chopping it up with him ever since.
Hell yeah.
Man, I grew up around Greenfield. I mean, that's where I went and like to get my hair cut and stuff. And I mean, it was like great clips all through high school.
Yeah.
Whenever people told me about barbershops when I was a kid or younger, it was like, man, that's like for like old people. Like I'm not going to the barbershop because I remember my grandpa going to the barbershop and getting the high and tight flat top fade. Like that's what he got for like, I think 50 years. Like, I swear, I think he had the same haircut for 50 years. And I always thought that about barbershops. And then I moved to Indianapolis, and a buddy of mine started going to Matt's Barbershop in Greenwood because I work down at the BioLife that's down in Greenwood. And I really like it. You know, I know we're not promoting Matt's Barbershop or promoting you guys, but they're just on the complete opposite side of town. So don't worry about that as competition. But no, what I liked about it, though, is Matt's Barbershop is what I feel like a barbershop should be. When you go in, they're talking, everybody's bullshitting about sports, what's in the news, all talking, because I had tried a few barbershops in like Fort Wayne and other places where like you just sat there and like it was just kind of lame. Like it was like they're just there cutting hair like it's great clips. Yeah. And that's not the kind of communal feel that you're supposed to get from a barbershop.
Well, one of the reasons I wanted to reach out to you guys is I feel like, you know, just kind of knowing you for long enough that it's kind of like if I walked into your establishment, it's going to be like a family atmosphere. Like, yo, what's up with you, bro? You know,
Everybody says what's up.
And it's not going to be like, fucking 15 minutes before I can get in that chair, and then you got somebody sitting there like, oh, I just want to fucking hurry up and get this done, and you know what I mean? It's going to be like, yo, what's up? You know, I'm Jonny, what's up? You know, and then you chopping it up, and it's going to be...
Like, I shake up with all his clients.
Oh, for real?
They know me now, you know, they know me, they show me love, they show me support. It's love, it's family. That's what it's all about.
There you go. Perfect. But yeah, like, I mean, one of the things that I wanted to just ask really quick right off the bat, I've had a guy just dig into my head. So how do you guys feel about that? Like, is that something that maybe the guy wasn't a good barber, or
What do
was
you
he
mean?
just-
Like he's just fucking.
Like, I mean, I'm
He's
talking
rough.
like he
He's
was digging
rough.
into like the back of my head, and like I had like ingrown hairs even from it because he was like he had
Oh,
like
shit.
given like irritation to my scalp, and I was like, because that's the funny thing, like you build your regular
Yeah.
person you want to go to, and my girl wasn't there that day because she's a female barber.
Shout out to female barbers.
she's-
Oh man.
They're
dope.
taking over. They're taking over.
But I she wasn't there, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna try a different person because I really want to get my hair cut before this weekend. She wasn't there; she was sick or something, and he just tore my fucking head up, and it was a bad haircut too. So I was like, I went through all that pain for not even a good haircut. Like I would have dealt with the pain if it was a good haircut.
Now listen, if you go to ATG, I don't think you're gonna have that problem.
Exactly.
But I do got a question for y'all.
Let's touch on his topic real quick.
Yep. Go ahead.
You want to start, and I'll bounce off of that. Okay? I'll take the reins in. Wow. So, the thing that a lot of barbers don't understand is you can be super light with
Yeah.
a clipper. You can barely touch somebody's hair, and it's gonna cut the hair.
Yeah.
You don't have to dig into somebody's hair and they're sitting, boom, smoke in their head.
Yeah.
What the fuck is you doing?
It's gonna cut the hair regardless. But if he's trying to get out a really deep line, I can understand it. But at the same time, you shouldn't be putting a deep line in somebody's hair.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think he's no longer there, so
I'm not surprised.
So don't worry about that. But tell me, how long have you been cutting?
I've been cutting I've been cutting 10 years now. I started barber school in 2010.
Yeah.
I was a rookie. I didn't know how to cut hair at all. I just decided I was tired of working jobs. My father was a barber,
Okay.
so I just went for it.
Yeah.
And
And
it's been paying off.
do you feel like an
Entrepreneur. I dig it.
art form with
100%.
that's
Have you seen
I love
it?
that.
Have you
100%.
seen any of the pictures they're posting?
No, because you literally just told me about these people today, so or about a week ago when we were playing the podcast.
But my question I wanted to get to is I heard because I don't know, maybe it's a weird thing for me, but nothing feels better than a good straight.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He definitely hasn't seen one in a few weeks.
In a minute, but I heard they don't let female barbers use actual straight razors.
No.
They got to use like the what is
That's
it? It's got
not-
the guard.
So
Is that?
I understand where people get it mixed up. Cosmetologists can't use straight
Oh,
razors.
okay. So
Okay.
like, is that in
It's a different
school
program.
or something?
It's a different program.
Like, is
So-
that what cosmetology is? Like when you're in school, or is that like?
So there's cosmetology program and barber program. So each one, depending on state, Illinois and I know Indiana's same, $1,500. Each program has a central focus on men's cuts, men's straight razor shave, whatever they're going to teach you at that school. Whereas the cosmetology side is going to focus on balayages, air forming, a lot of air forming. Really the women's side. So
Is that the shit where they got the whole like jet plane looking thing for your hair? Or, I'm sorry, man. I don't know shit about it. But that's why, like, I'm glad y'all here. We gonna learn.
Honestly, jet plane, I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know that
So-
thing where like bitches is getting perms or something, and it like.
Talking about the blow.
the
Yeah, yeah,
Hair
like
dryer?
one of those. Oh, is that what it actually is?
So yeah, so like I said, it's just focused on a different side of the field.
Okay.
So where I went to school, I know how to do all of that.
Yeah, they don't want barbers doing chemical processes. Like they don't want you doing perms.
No.
They don't want you doing hair colors.
No.
Even though they taught us that in school.
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't want us doing it, but we do. Perms, we do hair colors.
Yep.
And some women beauticians use razors. They're not supposed to, but they've been trained to do it.
But bounce off of that again, females are allowed to use like the guarded razors. They can,
Yeah.
but it's not gonna be the same thing.
Yeah.
Thing that I wanted to kind of touch on and work through and like kind of figure out with you guys is you see all these like more like higher end stuff on like Instagram of people doing like the nose stuff, the eyebrows, the things like that, the mask stuff. Is that what do you think that is? Is that something just trying to like build up that fad, or like what's going on with that?
All that is a service to get them more money.
Right.
You can go to Dollar Tree and get a black mask and throw it on you.
Exactly.
It's all for a video. It's all for the social media hype, and they're getting the hype because people want to see all that.
I fuck with the honesty there. I mean, that's what's up.
I'm not gonna put a black mask. Me personally, I'm gonna tell somebody, yeah, the black mask is cool, but like it's not really gonna give you a full facial treatment. I can do a full facial treatment on you. I gotta go get the products and everything, but that's gonna really break your skin down and really smooth you out. Whereas a little black mask is just gonna. Okay, see those are the extreme ones.
See, the barber industry is growing now. A lot of men don't want to just go get a haircut. They want more. They want to get their hair washed. They want a facial.
Yep.
They see the
A
stuff on the
steamer,
internet, and it helps.
hot towel.
Oh, hot towel. Fuck, I love that shit.
Oh yeah.
So it's just all about what you want to give to your customer too. Some people just want a haircut. So.
But now I feel like a rookie because I didn't know there was a steamer. I didn't know there was all this shit. Like,
Well, I've always
you
said,
haven't experienced that, bro.
I always said, dude, if I could get the same consistent haircut and I liked the way it looked, I would go to that person every single time.
Okay, see that I want to bounce off that then. So personally, I go to somebody have a good conversation with.
Right.
Versus an amazing haircut, and I'm just sitting there like this, not having a good time. Like, dude, this guy's weird. I want to have a good conversation with people when I'm, servicing them.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That's part of the beauty industry. It's customer service.
Right. It is.
We want to, yeah.
now on the flip side, I just gotta ask, what's it like when you like trying to chop it up with somebody and you're like, yeah.
I have okay.
Is that one of those where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna fuck off and
lace them up.
If they don't want to talk, you shut the hell up and cut their hair. If they engage in conversation, you give them conversation.
100%.
But like you said earlier, man, a lot of barbers, a lot of the older barbers, they get stuck in their ways.
Right.
They're kind of tired of cutting hair. They rush your haircut and dig all in your head. They have a nasty attitude. And that's why them guys aren't making any money anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
You got new young barbers coming up.
Hell yeah.
We love what we do. We don't mind conversation.
Talking shit.
Give you a good time.
I love that too, because
We're going to crack some jokes on you.
that's the best part.
You come to Against the Grain, you're going to have a great time.
We
mess with everybody.
This
That's
dude,
good.
He tears kids apart, man.
Oh, yeah.
He knows which kids can handle it. But if they come in with a nappy hair, damn man, you need to brush your hair. I can't even pick this hair out.
Another thing I want to say real quick. See, we're in a different world now. A lot of single women are bringing their kids to the barbershop.
Oh yeah.
There's not a lot of families in the world anymore. So they don't have that father figure at home either. So I learned that when I was a freshman in high school, man. You got to watch what you do around kids. They looking up to you. So I just try to make sure the kids have a good time when they come to our shop.
Yeah.
I'm going to definitely crack a joke on them.
Hell
We're
yeah.
going to have some fun.
Yeah.
I get it all the time. The kids just love to come to our barbershop.
Yep.
They ask, hey, I want to go back to the barbershop. Before we left, I had a kid get dropped off just to play the video game.
Nice.
It's
PlayStation,
awesome.
Xbox,
It's awesome that you recognize the importance of that, because like being an influencer, being an entrepreneur, man, that's so important. It is so important.
A lot of barbershop owners out here, they don't cut hair. They just have a business. They put money into it. They hire barbers. Those are the boring barbershops.
Yeah.
See, I've been cutting hair for 10 years now. When I went into my own business, I wanted to kind of cater to everybody.
And you want to build a community too, right?
Yes.
Man, I saw how excited he was to be coming back home and to be jumping on board with you, and I was like, damn, okay.
I've been chopping it up with him since I was 17.
I was more excited than he was. He don't know, but I was hoping he was coming home. I wasn't knocking this thing in Chicago. I was praying, like, I hope
just a little backstory real quick. I'm from Greenfield, Indiana, born and raised. I went to Ball State, graduated, moved to Chicago 2 years ago. Recently moved back. So that's why he said excited for me to come.
Well, I went to Ball State too, and I was there for like 8 years. didn't graduate. So congratulations for making it through, man. I'm just saying that.
Appreciate that.
When he was in high school, he watched Van Wilder like 7 times and thought he's going to live it out.
No, I definitely. I
didn't know that was about Burt Kreischer. Did you guys know that?
Yep. No, that's the one I told you.
Well, goddamn, fuck y'all.
Good movie, though. I've seen it.
Right.
No, but what were you doing out in Chicago?
I moved there for a job.
Yeah.
I had my bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Okay.
I was in the process of starting the academy.
Dog, I was so excited
crazy.
for you, too. Like, so, is it okay to ask, like,
Go ahead.
Is it okay to ask what happened with that?
I
I don't mean on the personal side, but I mean, like...
In terms of the law enforcement?
Yes.
You looking at it, man. Why am I here right now?
You're talking to the side of it. You want?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
I'm just trying to help. Sorry.
My passion took over.
Hey, I love that.
I knew very, very early on that I wanted to be a barber.
So it was like, I could fade a motherfucker.
Yep.
Or I could fade a motherfucker. My bad, I couldn't help myself.
That's the best joke I've made.
You fucking set that up. You knew exactly what.
My bad.
Nah, yeah.
Couldn't help
So
myself.
there was a school near me, man, that I hadn't heard about previously before even looking into schools. It's such a huge name in the industry, and I was like, damn. I was driving by it all the time. I was like, man, I wish I would go, but then I was like, fuck it. Went in there, did a tour. It was it. That was over with. I wanted to do it.
That's what's
And
up.
I had to wait a couple months for the upcoming barber program to start, and I was so hyped. It's funny because I knew what I wanted to do when I was 18. I told my dad, my year of college, I said, I want to be a barber.
Yeah.
He said,
Really?
you better finish school, you dumbass. Which I'm so happy he made me finish because I'm the barber I am, the person I am because I went to Ball State.
Yeah.
Because I did that experience, That's where my talents grew.
Yeah.
He was sending me people that were going to Ball State.
Oh, for
Oh,
real?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
For real? That's what's
He's
up.
been this is why I'm so down for the team, so down for him. This is why I brought him, not only because he's the owner, but because he's good people. He was telling me, yo, you got it. You have a natural ability for this early on. Like my first couple of cuts, I was like, yeah, look. He was like, that's nice, bro. It was probably awful, but he was telling me
It was nice. I mean, compared to his work now, it was still nice. But nothing like he is now. But he's always been good.
Hell yeah.
so. Yeah, that's how Chicago ended up, man. I finished school in 10 months. Worked at a couple shops out there. It didn't feel right. It felt good to go to Chicago because the first barber school ever opened up in Chicago.
Oh, okay.
So I felt good going to the roots, and because Chicago barbers, man, they're every other store is a barbershop.
Yeah.
6 on a block.
Damn.
And they're all good.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Shout out to Chicago barbers, man. They're all good.
Dude, it's like that kind of stuff kind of all sticks together, dude, because Chicago's known for great comedy, and you mentioning that, and it's all crafts that take a certain amount of talent, but also a certain amount of work. It's like it kind of all forms together, and it's just interesting that those kind of places exist. And I love indie, but it's just interesting that those kind of places exist with that high level of accomplishment and people that are at that level. And I'm excited to see it coming to here in Indianapolis too.
But I'm getting like a real Kobe and Shaq vibe with what y'all got going on. So I gotta ask. There's obviously other people in the shop with you. There's the Robert Horry, there's the Rick Fox, there's the Derek
bro.
Fisher.
See,
Shout them out for him. Shout them out for the people.
You can't even. We got the dream team, bro. We don't have a 2001 Lakers, bro. We got the team, bro. Our team is beast, bro. Everybody on our team, fire.
Say it one more time for the people that were like kind of in it at the beginning, and now they're tuned in, and they're like, shit, I gotta go. Where are y'all located? Say it one more time for me.
It's Against the Grain Barbershop. We're located on East Washington Street in the same parking lot as Washington Square Mall. We're right next to Bubba's Bar and Grill.
Hell yeah.
Address is 10030 East.
I'm telling y'all, if you
And
ain't
we
hooked,
got
ATG, baby,
if you ain't hooked yet,
we got nothing but amazing barbers here, man. We got myself. I'm Antwon Pay. They call me Presidential Peasy.
Okay.
We got Big Haas here. Man, he's running things in there, man. We got my boy Twin. He works there.
Shout out to Twin.
He's the co-owner with me. We've been grinding, working hard for years.
Same love and respect.
This is a dream for us.
Twin gaming.
This is a dream come true for us. So we're just happy to be getting the ball rolling. Like I said, we're just getting this started. So you guys haven't seen nothing yet.
Yeah.
Yep. We got a guy named Juice that just moved here a few years ago. He's from the Virgin Islands. We just got a mixed crowd. Everybody's different, but we share the same passion for cutting hair.
Now he and I for sure need to get a picture together.
Yep.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
And we got two guys named Andre. They're both amazing barbers too.
Shout out to them, man. They're doing their thing.
That's a pretty good lineup, man.
Golden State needed Andre too. I'm just saying. Why they sent him to Memphis? But just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
you're just trying to touch on basketball, man.
Yeah.
Shaq and Kobe.
He's trying to get
Andre
in there.
and Warriors.
Well, I mean,
I'm more than happy to talk about it. I just have very little knowledge on it.
As you say that, let's. I'm just kidding. I love you, but I gotta ask because I don't have somebody I can talk to about it.
All right.
How'd you feel about Kobe, bro?
It still does not feel real. So Kobe is my second favorite player of all time. I grew up watching Kobe. I watched him play the Raptors when he scored 81. I watched it.
That was on my birthday.
Bro, they had a segment for a month and a half after that. Did this team score 81 points? No, Kobe Bryant did. And I was taking a nap when all my buddies were blowing me up. I didn't believe it until all the reports came in. A helicopter crash, man.
Yeah, right? Right?
But let's not, rest in peace to all the families,
Absolutely.
But the fact that his daughter passed and all the other little girls, but that is the most tragic part about it.
I mean, we were touching base on it a little bit before, and it's like, man, you see her sitting courtside, and you could see that, like that meme that they were posting where Kobe's, like, breaking it down, and then you see the video. She hits that Kobe shimmy and goes baseline with the fadeaway, and it's like...
I have no doubt in my mind that she would have been the best female basketball player ever.
She's, 10, 11, 12 years old and already
Something
had,
like
Connecticut picked out?
That sounds a lot better, by the way.
Yeah. Usually I'm like this,
the best women's basketball program was recruiting her when she was a 6th grader.
Right.
What?
It's like I was actually with my family on that Sunday. My brother Josh, he wore 24 in high school his whole career.
He wore Kobe's.
We all
wore Kobe's, man.
And it's we were all sitting there, we were throwing darts and drinking as a family. And my brother Jeremy, his girlfriend who knows nothing about sports just goes, just randomly, she's like, "Oh, you guys know who Kobe Bryant is?" And we're like, "Yeah, welcome to the family, bitch." And she's like, "Yeah, he just died in a helicopter crash." And we were like,
"What?"
We were like, me and Josh looked at her and we're like,
"Shut the fuck up.
Fuck out of this house right now." And then we're like, I pull up my phone and I'm looking at it, and then Jeremy and Josh pull up their phone and we're looking at it and we're like, "Oh shit, pull the news up." But what
I've never had somebody in terms of celebrity with the magnitude and impact he had. Yes.
Dude, me either.
I didn't,
I was too young when Pac passed. You know what I mean?
He died September 13th, 96. I was born September 15th, 1995. So I wasn't even a year old. So I couldn't, I didn't understand
I was like,
who he was.
I was like 5.
But it's even worse because the impact of social media. They
see, that's what pissed me off because we're sitting there and it was as a family, literally we was all like, "Oh shit, this is real right now." And then you're hearing Rick Fox was on there, and then they're saying it was
it was a bunch of
there was a whole bunch of
they were saying his whole family was on there.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
It was rather than just being like, "Hey,"
and my dumb ass, "Yo, Kobe and his whole family died," texting everybody.
Bro, me too. And it was that's one of those times where I was like, have enough respect to just kind of be like, "Hey, this is a situation. We don't know what's going on." You know what I mean? Because
the news, everybody wants to be first. They want to get it out first. They want to get those views, those clicks, everything like that.
And just from rumors, I don't know if this is true. It probably is. TMZ reported it before Vanessa Bryant, Kobe Bryant's wife, even knew.
She found out. Hey, the most respect to her for what she did at Staples Center with everybody.
She's
there.
broke me down a couple times just looking at stuff.
Dude, her Instagram has brought tears to my eyes.
Shout out to Vanessa.
Watching her get up on that stage in front of all those people, she didn't even have to do that for nobody. Like she didn't have to do that, you know. Like and shout out to Michael Jordan for that too. Michael's speech was powerful.
It was.
And then like he even hit the motherfucker got me on another crying meme.
Yep.
You know, but like Vanessa held her shit together and she did not have to do us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was
She
powerful,
was saying
man.
she's gonna take care of the family, take GG
because he needed a teammate, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm crying."
Did you write that? Who wrote that for you? Because they deserve an
that was powerful, man.
Yeah,
but piggybacking off that, unfortunately, I'm just curious what y'all think about the March Madness and big, you know.
The coronavirus, dude, has just fucked the world up.
The world.
It's just decided to come at everybody.
I know a dude. I know a dude from Italy. Like his whole family's from there. His father just took. They're celebrating like their 30th anniversary, and they went to Greece. So, and they're not allowed to leave. So imagine you're on an anniversary trip. You were chilling in the hotel, and you're like, "Yeah, I'm gonna check out and go home." And they're like, "No, you're not." Like you just gonna be chilling here for a minute.
That's
it's like, wait,
gosh,
what?
Yeah, one of the tweets that I wanted to bring up was pretty funny. I saw something online. This chick was like, "Hey, let me read it real quick. My stepdad's thoughts on the coronavirus. Crazy because he's not so into the conspiracy theories." And he texts her and says, "It falls all back on politics. Democrats yelled Russian collusion. Truth came out to be Democrats working with Russia. Then they tried impeaching Trump. He was found not guilty. Now we are in a presidential election year, and Democrats are losing big, more so than they ever have in the past. The media spotlight has been on politics for so long now. How do you get the spotlight off? How do you get the spotlight off of you? Maybe release a virus, start a pandemic, and panic in society. So much so that social media switches gears and everything posted on there is no longer politics, but all coronavirus. When Ebola hit, election year. Same with the SARS virus.
I saw this.
You see, when the media spotlight is on politics and politicians, it's more difficult for politicians to do shady shit, like rig elections, pass unconstitutional laws, etc., etc. Problem is, everyone on social media began making fun of the coronavirus, which is 100% true. Yep. So politicians needed someone, or she didn't do this the way I would have done it, which is break it up exactly how it should be. But anyways, they needed someone or some people who everyone loves, famous people who are instantly known. They need these famous people to contract the virus, or at least they say they did. Then people tend to believe it just a bit more. But these famous people shouldn't really be here in the States, where others can check up on them, or where your media can get to them. Let's send them to Australia, which is where Tom Hanks currently is. And it's plausible.
But do you think he's walking around Australia like, look at me, I'm the captain now?
And coronavirus is like, no, bitch, I'm the captain now. And he's shitting himself in his hotel room.
I follow him on Instagram. He looks fine.
No, he's fine. I mean, because it's what's crazy about the whole virus is the fact that it really hasn't hit us in the United States yet the way everywhere else. So either we are doing the right thing and taking these precautions and closing down so that we don't have in Italy, we don't have a China, or I was telling somebody this the other day, I was like, or the United States is just such dirty people that we're already like good with the coronavirus.
We're immune because nobody washes their fucking hands.
Dude.
and I was telling Johnny, so I work in healthcare, and I'm very conscious about using hand sanitizer after working with patients, things like that. Yeah. But then it got me to thinking of like all the times in the rest of my life. Like my old co-host of Juice in the Morning was very OCD. Like he wouldn't touch stuff. Like he told me like if a gas station clerk touched the top of his energy drink when she gave it to him, he'd be like, nope, I got to get another one. Or he would like wipe it off with like a sanitizer or something like that. what's funny about this coronavirus is I've started noticing around me like things that I normally would not give a fuck about, like
motherfucker, did you just cough?
or like using a pen that a server at a restaurant gave me to sign my receipt. Now I'm like, fuck. Now I gotta go to the restroom and wash my fucking hands. Awesome,
But
like it's weird.
we should really have been taking
All
of
of
these
these,
precautions prior to
Dude,
100%.
see, that's the problem.
How many times have you been in a random restaurant, bar, whatever, and you're taking a leak, and the dude next to you just gets up and walks out? 8 out of 10 dudes.
Literally every time. Literally every time.
I'm over here washing my hands. I'm like, you nasty motherfucker.
And a lot of the times, what's hilarious
Straight
is
up.
you know it's just somebody being lazy because there's two people washing their hands and they're like, "Fuck it," and they just walk
Yup.
out. No, in our group message, I said, until it feels like it's affecting me personally and it's something that's happening, like somebody's sick, something like that,
Right.
I'm still going to live my life. I'm not going to live my life in fear. I've said it on the podcast way long time ago, since this has been going for 5 years. It's like when the mass shootings and things were happening, like I said exactly what I'm going to say now. If you live in fear, whatever it is that you're living in fear of has already won, so you don't have any chance to like really have a good life.
Yep.
Like all the people going out and buying all the goddamn toilet paper, all the people buying
Fucking
the
assholes,
hand
man.
sanitizer. It's like I just can't understand it because
a huge friend of the
I poop a lot, but not that much.
A huge friend of the podcast and MMA fighter Ian Pomfret had a great point that really hit home with me. He's like, y'all keep buying all that toilet paper, that's cool, but you leaving me the wet wipes. I was like, my guy.
Because he
I feel
likes
you on
those. He
that.
likes those more than he likes toilet paper. He's told us on the podcast.
I do too.
Ooh, I don't know. I feel like it's going to clog up.
I
think it's gonna
joined
clog
him
up my
afterwards.
toilet.
I was like, oh, I get it now.
But
But
no,
I
so what do you
kinda-
guys think? What's is there any worry with the
Bro,
barber world?
So
Okay, first off, a major thing about barber school, cosmetology school is sanitation.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Because some schools you're gonna get the work in. You're gonna put the real hours in of cutting. Some other schools you're not going to. His school, I'm guarantee you, they were cutting all day. My school, nah. We were cutting mannequins, and I mean, I had already had my work put in previously, so I knew how to cut hair. But after you get out of school, that's where you get good.
Yeah.
So the majority of school is sanitation. The state board is sanitation for a reason.
That's what it's
That's
all
why
about.
that's why there's a lot of unlicensed barbers, and those are the ones that are causing issues with people. They're giving people ingrown hairs in the back of their head.
Yep.
They're cutting people. I've heard
Don't know how to clean their tools right.
Nope. You should sanitize every tool that you use after a cut.
They don't wash their hands.
If you don't see washing the hands, spraying tools, switching utensils, a barbicide jar at your barber station.
One question that I have too, now that you guys are talking about that, and sorry to interrupt, but
No, go ahead.
people that I've been seeing, because as soon as you guys, he told me you guys are coming on, I've been looking at stuff, and I see a lot of guys wearing gloves. Is that something that is happening a lot?
Okay,
or-
so there's multiple reasons for that. I've been wearing gloves for years,
Really?
not only for sanitation, but because there's a thing called hair splinters.
Oh,
It's like a normal splinter, but it's a really tiny hair, and you can't see it. It's very, very small, and you can't see it, and it gets in your skin, and it's hell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
It hurts because you just do this, and you don't even know it's there. You graze over your hand, and that shit hurts.
Oh, my God.
I got to the shop earlier. I'm taking a blade on top of my finger because there is a hair jammed inside my skin, and I had to get it out.
but like if I pulled that,
I'm
little-
talking like a really, 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 really tiny hair, dude.
And
and
it's,
it just gets up in there. And
well, you
I
gotta,
wish I would have been prepared.
you
Like, hey,
gotta,
look,
yeah, you got to think
well,
about
no, I'm
it.
glad you don't, because that sounds like it sucks.
it's
But
it's awful.
it's just
It's way worse than a splinter,
I never in my life would have ever thought
and nobody does.
like
Everybody's always like, "What the hell's a hair splinter?"
doggy. Like you
It's
just,
a splinter that's a
just-
hair follicle, and it's literally just a tiny. I'm talking this fucking big. That
Well-
gets jammed into your skin.
What I want to add to that is it makes sense too because they are coming into contact with so much. Because I knew a guy that worked in insulation, like wrapping pipes. Like he was
Are you equating insulation to hair?
Yeah, because he worked so much into it. There was so much of it touching him all the time that it started to work itself into like his skin and had to have surgeries to remove it. It's just part of the trade, and that's where I think that's kind of the same thing. You're coming into contact so much, you're going to get those.
Yeah.
I've actually gotten hair splinters in my nail. Like it's just straight through there, and because I can't figure out what it is, and it's not that one's not super painful because I don't know what it is.
You can just dig under there and get
pull
it out. But when it gets jammed in your skin and you don't take precautions and take the necessary steps to get it out, they can get infected.
And
it's like a big boil on your. Yep. Yeah, it's awful.
And it usually comes when I've been trimming up my balls a little bit, like the gooch. Put my foot up on the table like this.
All right, so this is not somebody you want in your shop. I'm telling you right now. Jesus,
I can bullshit around. I can have a good time.
That type of stuff is like after hours. No, definitely not. I'm totally joking about, but
but no.
And you actually brought your clippers and shit with you today, didn't you?
I did.
So I'm trying to get, yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna try and help you out.
So no, it'll be cool too because I have that right there, and I can like do some video.
So how do you want to do that? You want to do that while we're recording, or you want?
I would say
probably
let's
right?
finish the podcast and then we'll go down there. We'll set up. Actually, we should set up if I can get the lights on. I don't know if it's enough light.
Out back.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's enough.
And I'll take care of you for sure.
But anyways, I want to do like kind of like a promo video and like go around and then we'll make a music and like throw it in the background and send it to you so you can throw it on like Instagram and stuff like that. So, but anyways, one thing that Jonny sent to me that I wanted to see if he was still interested in throwing out there is this one right here.
What's that? Oh, okay. So disclaimer before we get into this. You don't have to get involved if you don't want to.
And then when we're done with that question, we'll just finish with that and then we'll be done.
So I was super baked one night, and I decided to message these guys.
I always know when he is too. Can I interrupt you real quick?
All right, go ahead.
So I always know this dude's either drunk or he's been smoking a little bit of vitamins because he'll text me sober, and it's all pretty good. Like the grammar's pretty good. The periods are where they're supposed to be. But then I can tell because it starts coming across like misspelled words, periods where they're not supposed to be. And I'm like, this dude's definitely talking to text to me right now. Like, because either that or he's just real, like he can't type with his fingers. So I'm like, so I just humor him and I just kind of go along with what he's doing. Like, it would be really funny if I was like, dude, you're high right now. Wait until tomorrow to talk to me about this. So, but no, actually, he comes up with some of the best stuff when he's doing that too, which is funny.
When he sent this, I was like, hell yeah.
All right. So I'm going to actually add one after this.
Go ahead.
So apparently I asked him, allegedly.
You said you were going to get into your feelings. Let's hear it, dude. Come on.
Let's do it to it.
All right. So I asked him, what is the toughest, most stressful moment you have ever faced in your life? What was the outcome and what did you learn about yourself? Anybody who would like to start? And since you weren't involved in that conversation, if you don't want to get included, you can. But if you got something, spit it out.
I would say, I'll just start because I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Was it getting shot?
Well, that's part of it. So the toughest, most stressful moment toughest, most stressful moment in my life was when I was 18. My best friend accidentally shot me with his handgun. I've told the story on the podcast probably like 17 times.
They haven't heard it, though.
I'll tell it real quick because we might have new listeners. Basically, I'll be right back. I was coming back from school, and I had torn my ACL. Just had surgery on it. Was still kind of working through the therapy and the rehab and stuff. And it was the day before Thanksgiving. And obviously that's a big party day because, you have Thursday off no matter what. So I was back home. I was in love with this girl for like all through high school. Always tried to hang out with her as much as I could because I was still stuck on her, even though it was like a year or two after high school. And so what happened was we're going to a party downtown Indy. And when we go to this party...
got your pub in here.
I know. Jonny needs to close the fucking door when he goes to the bathroom. No,
Forgot to wash my hands.
no, and you got blue in here. But no, so anyways, we're going to go to this party. I'm talking to this girl on the phone. The party's actually supposed to be at a duplex, like right next to hers.
Okay.
Obviously, I planned this. So I called her, and was talking to her on the phone. We're going to pick up another girl from Greenfield to take her downtown to Indy because that's where we grew up too. And we're sitting in the parking lot. I don't really care if this girl goes with us. I care about the person I'm going to go see. And so my buddy goes in. We had taken a few shots already. My buddy goes in to talk to her. I'm sitting in the car. He has his handgun sitting between the seats. He's always kept it between the seats. Nothing big about that. I kind of pick it up and I'm just kind of playing with it, but I'm also talking on the phone to this girl that we're going to her house, or we're going to the house next to her. And so all of a sudden, he comes back and gets in the car. And he's like, you've been messing with my gun. And I was like, no, not really. Like, kind of nodding. Like, I was ignoring him, talking to this girl on the phone. And he starts poking me in the leg with it. And he pulls the trigger, shoots me through the leg, 9mm Ruger handgun. It goes through my leg, out the bottom of the car. And I look at him like, dude, you just fucking shot me. You've been drinking. You can't take me to the hospital. And, like, I need to get the guy behind us to take me to the hospital because somebody was, like, following us. Yeah. So I try to get out of the car. I fall because my leg is...
Is this the same leg that's on rehab, basically?
Yeah.
ACL?
Yeah. Oh, it's completely numb because it went through the nerve that controls the lifting of your foot. So he comes running around, throws me over his shoulder, throws me in the car. We haul ass to the hospital because I don't know how bad it is. I was super calm. I think I was in shock because I was looking down, and as I could tell as my heart was beating, it was like beating blood out of my leg. It was really weird. It wasn't like squirting; it was just kind of oozing, and it was kind of smoky still a little bit. But I called my mom on the way. But once again, I forgot the best part. Well, when I got shot, the girl I was talking to on the phone, I said, "I'm gonna have to let you go. Nick just shot me," and I flipped the phone closed because that's how old this story is. And so, anyways, we're on the way to the hospital. I call my mom. I'm like, "Hey, Nick just shot me. I'm on the way to the hospital." And she's like, "I'll be right there." And I was like, "Oh, mom's cool too. She's like calm as I am. This is great." And we get there, blah, blah, blah.
His mom works in the medical field, so she was like...
Long story short, we get there. Guy that drove me took off, so it looked like it was like a crime. Right. Cops start questioning me. They shoot me up with morphine. I'm talking really loud because I already have a loud voice. Click, and click, 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 click. and the gun going off in the car even injured my ears, so I was even louder. And then they gave me the morphine, so I got even louder. And then they found out I kind of tried to lie because I didn't want to get my friend in trouble where we were at. It was just a big issue, but that was the story. And the toughest, most stressful part about that story was completely changing the landscape of my entire life. What I thought I was going to do. That was scary and tough. And the guy that shot me, we were best friends from probably 6th or 7th grade until we were 18, 19 years old. And ever since that happened, he's never, I forgave him, but he and I have never really talked and been boys since that date. And it's something that for a long time really ate at me, and that's why it was really tough and stressful at the time, because I was like, dude, my best friend just shot me, and now my best friend is not talking to me anymore. I don't know how to really handle this, because everybody was pushing me to sue him to get money. And I was like, I've already forgiven him. I'm not gonna try to make his life worse.
That'd be pretty shitty.
I don't know.
I mean, him popping you one time is fucked up, but
it's motherfucker, hey, bro, go stand over there. It's my turn.
Right. So
you've been served.
But that's what I'm talking about with it being stressful and tough, because I was dealing with that. I was like, man, I should probably do this, but I also don't feel like I should, because once again, when I was playing with it, I fully admit, everybody in my hometown said I shot myself because they didn't know the story. They Nick may have told them the story. Did not shoot myself. Literally, I was playing with it and racked one.
Okay.
Because I didn't know that he had one in the chamber,
right.
and he never kept his magazine in it. So it was literally just one bullet that I cocked the gun, and it was just one bullet, and it.
What are the chances of that?
So wait a minute, hold on. Now this doesn't add up. If he never keeps a magazine in it.
Oh wait, no. The
one.
magazine was in it. I apologize. He never keeps he usually never keeps the magazine in it.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm not sure you understand how this works, bro.
Get the fuck out of
you
here.
ever played COD?
No, he usually never kept it in it. That's why I was playing with it, because I was used to the magazine being in the glove compartment, so I never really fucked with his gun.
All right.
So so I basically set it up for him to shoot me, but at the same time,
there's a whole nother motion of
I know,
Yeah.
a pointing and a pulling.
Right.
Yeah.
Boom.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the most stressful time of my life. And to be honest with you, my whole life, I always kind of I feel for people that have stress or depression and things like that, but I've always had just a natural positive outlook on everything. So I never have a frame of reference when people are going through tough stuff. And I'm a tough guy. I have a heart, and I've been trying a lot lately the last couple of years for friends and family that are going through stuff, to try to put myself in their shoes and empathize with them. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I just am always well, it's not that bad. Things can get better.
I'm one of those people that gets bad sometimes, and I'm like, you'll be all right, bitch.
But no, I
empathize with people a lot.
Yeah.
Not because I'm super sensitive and I'm super emotional, and I connect with people about stuff, So I feel people's pain, and it sucks, but it's such a good quality to have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like I said, I'm working on it, because for probably 99% of Jonny and most of my close friends' relationship, it's if things start getting deep, I'm like, all right, we're getting a fucking couple shots. Let's go party. Let's have a good time, because I don't want to deal with this right now.
We're pretty good about not fucking around with that kind of stuff, but every now and then it'll be like, hey, I just want to let you know I fucking with you and I appreciate you.
Right. So to me, there's nothing there's a stigma for men in society that we have to be manly men, brutes. But to me, there's nothing more manly than a dude that can show a sensitive side and be compassionate to others.
Well, it's so funny because I don't consciously think I've ever thought that it's I'm being more manly because I don't have super emotional reactions to anything. I think it's how you're brought up too. And I'm not saying my mom did a bad job. It's just somehow, some way I grew up and I don't have a lot of emotional attachment to really much.
So
dude, there's my bad.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
There's sometimes I'll be fucked up and I know he's sober, but I'll send it anyway. And I'm like, my bad, bro. I'm drunk. But then there's every now and then I'll just be chilling and he'll send me some and I'm like, who's this motherfucker right here?
I'm pretty sure I've called him
what I mean?
when I was drunk at 3 or 4 in the morning. And I'm like, dude, I just want to talk for 5 minutes.
But it's appreciated. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
Because when I'm a little bit drunk, I think I start to think about all the stuff that I don't do, and I'm like, man, I need to really do this.
But there's a thing, it's no matter how you feel about it, everybody feels differently. But having that teammate, having Penny to Shaq, Kobe to Shaq, you know what I mean?
Iverson to himself.
I guess you could say Mutombo, but that wasn't even right.
Don't even.
Yeah, I won't do that. But
Don't even.
But it's appreciated.
Peyton to Reggie Wayne.
Harrison.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I mean you got that.
Peyton to pretty much anybody that was on his team.
Tom Brady's the GOAT, though.
Peyton would be like, Austin Collie just dropped that, sit on the bench. You motherfucker, get up out that seat. Get
Blair
out here
White, get in the game.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
No,
so you guys got anything?
I want to touch on what he said real quick.
Yep.
So growing up, do you feel it's more of in terms of that nature versus nurture? Do you think it's more of a nurture aspect? I think it's.
Go ahead.
I think it's nature. Man.
I think it's nature 100%.
100%.
100%.
What do you think about that?
Across the board.
I think
I don't know much about what y'all.
So it's do you think you're born with what you are, or do you think it's you're raised to think that type of way? So to me, I think you're just ingrained the way you are, man.
Now, I think there's certain situations where your environment molds you.
Absolutely, but internally, deep internally,
I think that's just who you are.
100%.
Because I wasn't raised in a household where it was I love you, come get this hug.
Right.
And blah, 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 blah. I was raising a motherfucker, go in your room and leave me alone.
Right.
And it was like, God damn, okay, cool. I guess I'm just going to go in my room and hug off for a little bit.
I think we are hardwired to some extent, but I think also outside influences can affect you. I mean,
absolutely, it's both. But it's definitely both.
But I definitely think not having that when I was growing up definitely made me more of a right. It made me more emotional because I remember when I was little, like if I got real pissed off, I'd start crying for no reason, like I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's genetic. It's a genetic component.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think to your question, like I would say for myself, and even an example, like my little brother and sister were born when I was 15 years old. And my little sister was not even old enough to really get what she was doing, but she's been hardwired to stir up shit. Like, I mean,
isn't that all females?
From birth. From birth.
Sorry, no, I'm kidding.
Because when I was in high school, I dated a girl named Kara. Then a couple of years later, I dated another girl named Kara.
Hey, I'm talking to a girl named Kara. No, I'm just kidding. No.
But where are you going with that though?
In terms of what?
Like how you feel like you're internally hardwired, or
let me finish this part of the example.
My bad.
So basically, my little sister, like I said, being hardwired to stir up shit. I'm saying she was 2 years old, really didn't know what was going on, and she went up to the new Kara and said, "You don't look like the old Kara. The old Kara was really pretty. I don't know about you,
bro."
And I'm talking
you
like
ain't getting no coochie.
You are not wrong. That was a bad experience because those girls were friends too, so it was even worse. But yeah, it was like I said. I think you're hardwired for certain things, but I think also you can have those amplified or negated by on the outside stuff. No, that's just the smoker's cough, dude.
Well, it's actually from getting my nose broke so many times I can't breathe out of my nose.
It's really why he would lose if we actually ran in a 40-yard dash.
Probably.
I'd probably beat you right now.
No, but like me, I think I was made and meant to cut hair. I truly, truly believe that. And I fully think, me personally, I'm made who I was supposed to be. There's been a lot of outside influences, but me, I'm me. I'm who I am.
That's right. Impressive to be able to talk to somebody that does fully feel immersed in like what they're doing and comfortable that that's where their life's going. Because 99% of the people you talk to aren't that way.
It just now hit me that y'all are not only cutting hair, but you're also performing a form of therapy.
100%. That's
damn,
one
that
thing
just hit me right now.
That is one thing that I love about my career.
Like,
I can break somebody down.
I didn't piece it together, and like when you were talking about, you got them youngsters coming in, and I can't wait to come back.
Yeah.
God damn, that's a form of therapy for them youngsters and everybody.
Do you have any memories of being in a barbershop when you were a kid? I do.
I've got a few, but the ones my dad took me to, they was like, all right, motherfucker, you just gonna get this little motherfucker. It was like a bunch of old white dudes.
That's how mine was too. But I remember him giving me a quarter after the cut, or giving me a piece of gum.
I remember the suckers, man.
Yeah, bro.
There's a little bowl of suckers.
That to me is a really, really fond memory, and I remember the smell of the stuff that he would put in my hair.
No shit.
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
That specific place, and that I don't even remember the dude, but he made a very large impact on my life.
Damn.
It's definitely a form of therapy, like you said. I get people come in all the time, and you can tell they want to talk to you. They want to get stuff off their chest, and you just let them vent, man. You let them vent, give them a good haircut. I got a guy, man. It's a funny story, man. Like, people just come for the environment and the service they get. I got a guy who's bald headed. He barely has a goatee. Comes to see me every Saturday. He wants his head washed. I got a little massager. I put that on his shoulders, and we talk shit the whole time. He loves coming to the shop. He don't even have no hair. He can do that shit at home himself. But what he can't do at home himself is vent and have a good time by himself. So barbers try to offer more than just a haircut. So.
See, that's something I didn't realize until I started talking to y'all. Yeah, straight up. I mean, like, now I'm starting to think about it. I'm like, damn, I've been sitting in one of them chairs before, and I said some shit that like I wouldn't tell nobody. You know?
Yeah,
like,
man.
Damn.
Yeah, it's deeper than haircutting, man. Like,
I've always wondered how deep I can get in that conversation with that person.
Is there what was the moment that you finally realized? Like, what was the moment that you realized this is what I'm doing?
well, when I got in the barber, man, I didn't know if the shit was gonna work for me. I was just tired of getting laid off from jobs,
Yeah.
doing other illegal activities.
Right.
I'm like, I got to find something to do with my life. And like I said, my father was a barber, and I went to the barber shop every week to get my hair cut. So one day, me and my best friends, we're talking like, man, I can't keep working these jobs, man. I ain't making no money, man.
Yeah.
I can't make a living off of this. So the next day, I'm at the barber shop, and I'm counting the barber's pockets. I'm like, this guy just made $60 an hour. Like, that's what I make in one whole day. I gotta go work all day to make $60, and then I gotta wait till Friday to get it. Then they kept laying me off every year around.
I'm trying to figure out where that noise is coming from.
So I just said, man, you know what? I gotta try something else. I just gave it a try. I didn't know if it was gonna work for me. I went to barber school for 3 years. It took me 3 years to complete. I had to go part-time. I had to work. I had kids to take care of. I had a lot of responsibility.
It ain't a race, bro.
Yeah, so I just wanted to take my time, get it done. I didn't know this is what I wanted to do for a living until I started actually doing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like I got kind of lucky. Like,
Yeah.
it's not easy to just get into barbering and start making money. A lot of people got to work a job on the side. But I'll tell you, that's not going to work for you. You got to put all your everything into it if you want to do it for a living.
It's not easy.
So after my first year, I mean, just the way people were coming back to see me, you get that repeat business.
Yeah.
People are calling like
Regulars.
I complain all the time, but it's a good problem. Like my phone rings constantly, all day and night. Like I remember when I didn't have that problem.
Right.
So that's when I knew. I'm like,
What?
people are calling. They want me to cut their hair. I like the money I'm making, and I'm an entrepreneur. So I mean, I'm gonna always be a barber, but I got other dreams too.
Right.
So this is a stepping stone to get to other things I want to do. But I'm gonna always cut hair. I'm gonna never stop being a barber. This is what I love to do.
What was it like the first time that you knew you was like, God damn, I just cleaned that motherfucker up? Like you can't like obviously you're just gonna you gonna do it and you ain't gonna like acknowledge it until they start walking away. But like, what was that moment when you was just like, God damn, I
honestly,
just
bro,
that.
like I can't recall.
Really?
Because I'm still, sometimes I look at him, I'm like, yo, AP, look at this, bro. Like, what's up? I still love it. I still love it, bro. We'll look at each other, yo, that's a nice haircut.
You know how you feel when you get a new haircut, right? You feel great.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
I have that same energy giving somebody that power, I just feel great about myself all day.
So it's just like a renewed energy.
I've been doing
constantly
this
just
since I was 18, 19, around there. So I'm 24 now. I still am full of enjoyment and passionate, and I never see that going away.
I love that you like. Sometimes I look at him and I'm like, shit, mom.
I did. I
love
swear.
that. I love that, man. That's.
And he doesn't do that, but I'm over any. When I see something I like, I'll be sure to tell him, hey, that was a nice haircut.
That's
bro.
the kind of environment I want to be surrounded in when I actually let somebody touch my hair, which I'm gonna do it today.
Yes, he's definitely not going to be in this environment in the Juice in the Morning podcast because I'm going to give him shit the whole time.
Mister, I'm gonna grow my hair out like you do.
Oh, no. I'd never said I was going to grow it that long.
Yeah, okay, fucking. Do I salute you? Are you in the military, the SEALs? What are you in, dog?
Fat Jesus is talking to me right now.
that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
No.
But to answer your question, no, there's no there. I do not remember. I just remember being in my dorm room, dude. At Ball State, I was in my dorm room, putting a towel over my mattress in my room and laying out all my guards and my clippers and using a little crappy chair.
Hell yeah.
How many times did you wake up like, oh fuck?
That's why I had that. That's why I had that towel on the bed, man. But it wasn't really until my junior year of college where I people were like, dude, you're a beast.
So before he jumps off on what he's going to talk about, this is something kind of personal we discussed beforehand.
Okay.
90s music, bro. Let's get into it. Who's them artists you was banging to this day? I mean,
Who are you
to
banging?
this day, it's
Tupac,
Big L,
Amaru,
Big
Shakur.
Pun, Tupac.
bro.
Oh,
That's-
Tupac was the man for me. Like
That's
in the Tupac Biggie race, who you got?
You can't compare them.
It's unfortunate, you know what I mean. But everybody's like,
You can't compare
it's
the two.
It's either Tupac or Biggie. But,
But
it's
there
like,
is a preference. There's a preference.
There is a preference.
I grew up a Pac fan.
Yeah,
I
me
liked
too.
Biggie too, but I was a bigger Pac fan. I always thought Pac was the greatest MC ever. But now I feel like Biggie's the best MC ever.
I
See, I think for me, in terms of 90s, I don't really like 90s East Coast music. I like Nas, but that's about
I
it.
agree. I hated New
West
York
Coast
rap growing up.
90s,
West Coast.
can't touch.
All
You can't
day.
touch it, bro.
I agree with that, but
Celly Cell, Spice One, South Central Cartel, Tupac,
I'm E40.
E40.
God, E40.
E40 's
E40's
one
my
of-
favorite rapper.
Me too. Us too. That's how actually we kind of.
My favorite rapper.
You better turn
I got
that
it to
shit
work.
up.
It's 90s. It's 90s, dude. It's
But that's
1999.
actually what brought us closer in friendship was E40 because we was at a party and it was like, "What we gonna play?" We was both like E40, and they're like, "Who?
So-
In a major way.
Who that? Who's that?"
So I don't want to like.
E40 is one of the
Sound
most
like-
unique rappers of all time.
I don't want to
And
sound.
he's still rapping today.
Today,
He's dropped 2 albums last year.
Right. I don't want to sound like because I'm not like, it's just like anything else. Like, I get to be a big fan of something, but don't doubt my fandom because I don't know every song and I don't know every, like,
Right.
the title and stuff.
right.
I just know that the album right now, I can't even think of it. The album where it was like lime or neon green and like black, and it was E40's album, and it was I'm the Man is on there. The You and That Booty's on there. Like it's like a big album.
You
You're
going deep.
talking about, I think it's My Ghetto Report Card.
My Ghetto Report Card. That's it, dude. Seriously, that's it.
What a name.
Let's
What
go.
a name.
And I showed that to all of my friends, and like
That's a great album.
90% of them were like, dude, this is fucking sweet. And
And
then
just-
the other people would be like, I would show them because obviously there's the radio songs. I mean, there was the You and That Booty song, You and That Booty, blah, 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 bullshit. Like, that's good. Tell Me When to Go was on there, which was hard for a radio song, by the way. I'm going to say that right now because I still jam that song. But that rest of that album, Yay Area, like I have that. I love that whole album. And that's where I started sharing it with friends. And then we started like listening to the rest of the whole catalog and going back and just being
so much
blown,
music.
like your mind being blown by the fact that this dude's been rapping for like 45 years.
He's been on.
Like,
No other you can't say that about any other rapper.
He's been on.
yeah.
Too. Everyone.
I got a funny story. So my kids, I got teenage kids, just turned 14, and my stepson he just turned 14. So they're like, everybody thinks they're twins. But anyway, they're like, "Who's your favorite rapper?" I said, "E40." Never heard of him.
Oh
So
shit.
I said, "Who do y'all like?" They play it. I said, "He won't be around next year."
Exactly.
Right.
So back to E40. Y'all never heard of him? Never heard of him.
Check this out.
Big Sean. If with you. Oh yeah, I heard that song.
Yeah, E40 on
That's
that.
E40. Or Yo Gotti.
This is a newer one, but it's one of my
Choice,
This song, yeah.
Choice is good.
E40
Yeah.
is the greatest rapper of all time.
He's one of the most
He's
unique
original.
rappers.
Nobody can relate to E40. A lot of people don't like him, and that's cool.
I don't get it.
E40
He's
will
a
tell you
beast, bro.
himself.
He's
Look,
so unique.
He'll
Yeah.
tell you himself, man. Look, I don't care what you think. I'm the greatest rapper ever done it, and there's a lot of people who feel the same way. Rappers have bit off E40, or just everybody's done music with E40. He's just original, man. He's like nobody else. And I'll tell you another thing. E40 has like kind of laced me up, man. Growing up, listening to him, all he raps about is entrepreneurship.
Yep.
Absolutely.
He doesn't rap about bullshit. He raps about taking your money, and investing it in yourself, starting a business.
Oh,
I mean, I learned a lot of stuff from listening to E40, man. A lot. So.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites. Like I said, I went through all of Apple Music and just started downloading the songs that I knew, and now I'm going to start going through with the ones that I haven't heard in a while.
Well, check out his newest album with Be Legit.
Yep.
Because Be Legit, I know y'all know who Be Legit is.
I do not.
He's E40's cousin.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
E40 had a group called E40 and the Click.
Now, see, in the last like 3-4 years, I don't know. I'm just not up to date with the music.
And this is nothing new. It's old. You should know.
I'm really excited to talk to you about one dude in particular. I want to know if you.
I didn't know they were family. That's a great album. It just came out 2 years ago. But I never knew that those guys are like they're real family. E40 and Sugar T, they're brothers and sisters.
Yep.
And Be Legit is their big cousin. So.
No, dude,
I'm a huge.
It's pretty sweet.
I listen to some of the weird shit like Big L, Big Pun,
Nice.
Scarface, Bumpy,
Ghetto Boys.
Yeah,
I like.
I'll
Bundy.
never forget riding in my dad's Explorer when he had a 12s and Gangsta Boogie came on for the first time.
Yeah.
When it first started, I was like, I ain't never heard this version of Sweet Home Alabama. And then they started rapping, and I was like, God damn. I'm like 9 years old, and this is explicit.
Yeah, man.
You know? But Gangstar and E40, like
Smoke something, bitch.
UGK is my favorite group.
I was about to touch on
UGK is
Texas rappers, Houston rappers,
Houston's
bro.
huge.
Houston had a real good run in the late
Now,
90s,
some-
early 2000s.
some-
Early
of
2000s?
Some of them died off, like David
Bunby.
David
Or not
Banner.
Bunby.
and-
He was from Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Oh, was he? I
Yep.
thought he. Yeah.
Mississippi, but he falls into that category.
Yeah.
But
DJ
Paul Wall. Yeah.
What, bro?
Wait,
They're
no.
come on, man. They're from Memphis.
Are they?
Yeah, bro.
I thought he was always repping Houston.
DJ Paul, Juicy J, they're from Memphis.
Yeah. He's talking
Paul
about
Wall.
we
Paul Wall.
actually.
Paul Wall.
Wall is
It's
from-
the Iceman.
Yeah. We actually have a buddy who signed
Okay.
with him that raps
Swisher
with
House?
him. Yeah, BPZ.
Really? Wow. So this is a really good transition. So we always talk about this dude, man, but he's honestly one of the most underrated rappers ever. Chameleonaire. See, he had his radio play stuff, Riding Dirty, Turn It Up. But if you go
So
in,
you're the one that got my brother. Anytime I'm riding with my
Probably.
brother, he always bumping Chameleonaire, and I'll listen. Why the fuck you listening to Chameleonaire? Heard this, and then I've got a couple of CDs, and I'm fucking. I was like, all right, Chameleonaire, pretty dope.
but so do you know who Big Crit is?
Yeah.
That is one of my.
Big
He's my number 2 all time.
But I've got like 3 or 4 of his, like the country song.
Country shit?
Yeah, country shit. I love that song. I don't know why, but there's something about that song that I love.
I'm a huge Big Crit advocate. Did I showed you Big Crit, right? Or no?
No, I wish you would have. But when I was in barber school, I was riding with a guy that I was going to barber school with. He's listening to a mixtape. And I'm like I told y'all, UGK is my favorite group of all times. I've heard every song.
See,
they've made.
Outkast.
That's why
I
Big Crit.
said, who is this, man? I never heard this song from UGK. He says, it's Big Crit. I said, no. The song we just listened to. Because Big Crit sounds just like Pimp C sometimes. You couldn't tell them apart. And I'm like, no, the Pimp C. He said, no, it's Big Crit. So I just didn't take to him because he just sounded too much like Pimp C. I didn't like that at first. Just a year ago, I'm in the barbershop and I'm like, hold on, man. This dude is amazing. Like, he's definitely one of my favorite artists right now.
As of right now,
He's one of my favorite
he's my
artists.
favorite.
So y'all
artist.
got shit playing.
Do we have anything planned?
You need to come to the Against the Grain Barbershop.
Yeah, get out.
You need to come to Against the Grain, man. Let me tell you a little bit about our setup, man. As soon as you walk in, we got 3 TVs in the front room.
Massive place. It's massive.
2 of them have video games, Xbox, PlayStation.
Other ones got
You can just watch TV on
Wild
the top
and
TV.
Out, whatever.
Then on our side of the room, we're always bumping some Big Crit.
There's a massive 55-inch on
65
60.
inch.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
ooh. Play YouTube all day.
Hell yeah.
And if we're not playing YouTube, we're watching a movie.
Oh, that's
we watch movies. You're gonna have fun at Against the Grain. You're gonna have a good time.
What kind of movies you guys watching?
What you want to watch?
Whatever.
What do you want to watch?
Like I said,
We watched Demolition Man earlier.
Oh my
Hell
God!
yeah.
One of my favorite Wesley Snipes roles of all time.
you guys are gonna need to go pick up 3 seashells tonight, 'cause ain't no more toilet paper out there. Yeah, no more toilet.
Understand how the seagulls were.
I never learned either, but hell, man, ain't no toilet paper left. So
Simon
man.
Phoenix.
Yep.
No, that's
I'm a conspiracy theorist guy. I'm not deep
Oh
into
shit!
it.
You shouldn't.
We can't
You
start.
shouldn't have said
No,
that
no.
because y'all motherfuckers.
I don't get
Oh,
deep
no,
into
we
it.
can't start.
I don't get deep into it, but I just like that movie. That was my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies growing up.
Me too.
Now I look at it different.
Yeah, like Taco Bell could really be
That
some.
shit is scary. Well, think about it. Taco Bell's the first to do everything these days.
right.
They started selling
God
breakfast
damn it.
first.
Here we go.
French fries.
They
He's over
deliver-
here licking his lips
They
like,
they
let's do
changed
it.
the game on
They
French fries.
changed the game. They deliver food before anybody else
Nacho
did.
fries suck. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
dude, you're a fucking
I don't know.
crazy
Hey,
person.
I like them nacho
They're all
fries.
right,
You're
bro.
delicious.
I've never got them warm, so
I mean, if you
Okay.
got the munchies, shit,
I'm from
they're good.
Greenfield, dog.
Yeah.
They don't serve warm food in Greenfield.
But no, I get you. I feel you on that one.
That movie's a little scary now.
Yeah.
Everything. That's why I played it today. I said, "You guys got toilet paper? Let me show you about the 3 seashells."
You guys gotta check out. I mean, I don't know. You've probably already seen it, but Idiocracy.
Yep.
That'll start coming
That is
true
so
right now.
What's his name? Wilson.
Terry Crews. Oh, Owen Wilson.
No, it's not
Dax
Owen.
Shep-
Or not Owen.
It's his brother.
It's his brother. I always forget the
Shepard's
Luke Wilson.
Luke. Yeah, Luke Wilson,
it? Yeah.
Terry Crews.
Are you sure? Isn't
yeah.
that a tight end?
No, well,
I think there is a Luke Wilson, as well, but
Oh,
no,
shit.
Luke Wilson, definitely Luke Wilson.
yeah, it's definitely Luke.
They're both ugly as hell.
Wow.
One of the things that I wanted to kind of wrap this up with is, first of all, tell everybody where they can find you again.
Against the Grain Barbershop, 130 East Street, right next to Washington Square Mall, next to Bubba's H&R Block.
Give them your social media.
Yep.
Life of Darrin on Instagram.
Listen, follow this man. I'm telling you right now.
Honestly, man, so I came back on another level.
You
So,
did. You
I came
fucking.
I came back on another level, man. Get with me, man.
Yep.
I'm telling you, here in about 5 years, I'm gonna have 100,000 followers. Easy,
Hell yeah.
easy, because I do what I love and I'm
Man,
passionate about it.
like it's
I will fit you in
It's-
any
it's-
time. It don't matter. I love
it's
cutting hair.
strange to say that I look up to. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
man,
But
don't
I
look up to
follow
me, bro.
I do though, because I follow you, and I'm like, damn, this is an inspirational motherfucker right now.
On Facebook.
It
hell
really
yeah.
is.
On
Like you
Facebook.
really are, man. Like you, he knows it because I can. It's right.
He
I'm
definitely
fucking with this
inspires
young
me
man.
a lot, man.
Like you do, man. Because I mean, there's not many people that keep it real. Not many people that keep it 100 and are doing what they love. And you are the epitome of that.
I'm not even saying I'm keeping it real, bro. I'm being me.
Yeah, and that's keeping it real. You know what I mean? Like, not many people are doing what. Not many people come back the way that you did.
Dude, I was in the slums, man.
Not many.
Mentally, emotionally, I was going through it, man. I really, really was, and that's what we neither of us talked about it earlier, but this past couple of years, man, has been the
Yeah, we passed right by your question, by the way. Yeah. I was the only one who answered.
Yeah, I know that's your own fault. No, I'm kidding.
past couple of years has been the toughest times in my
You
life.
want to dive into it?
Oh, fuck.
It's up to you, bro.
Shit.
It's up to you. We don't have to.
Do you want to take off and then I'll finish because mine's like, oh shit.
Yeah, mine's gonna take a minute. That's why I'm asking.
Mine's gonna take a minute too.
Yeah,
Do we have a minute?
We have as much time as you guys want.
it's up to y'all.
AB, what
Yeah.
about?
I don't really have any stressful points in my life I want to share.
All right, then what's the happiest time of your life, man?
That's good too.
All right,
And Darren.
I'll share a story with y'all, man.
300 million. two years, 300 million.
So when I started barber school, I went through a lot of BS. Like I said, I was starting time. I had to switch jobs and everything. So I took a job at the prison in Plainfield. I was a corrections officer.
Jesus.
My she worked there for 20 years, so she kind of helped me get the job. And I didn't want it, but I needed a job, pay for barber school. And I mean, when I was going to barber school, like that changed my life, man. Like I used to stress about a lot of BS and just life in general, but something just hit me like, you're in control of your own life, You're going to be upset and mad about it. It's not going to really help you, so.
That's something so many people don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, once I learned that, like, nothing bothers me anymore, man. I can be flat broke, no way to get to work. I'm happy, man.
I'll figure it the
you know
fuck
what I mean?
out. That's my
figure
motto
it out.
every
like,
day.
I don't let things bring me down, so I don't have really any sad stories to share y'all.
I'm on the same page, man.
There's so many people out there that like, I'm having a bad day, man. Can you just help me?
It's not gonna help you.
No, I'm not gonna help you. Like, figure it the fuck out.
It's not gonna help being down. So it's just I try to keep a happy attitude, no matter what's going on in my life. Like you won't know. A lot of girls I deal with, they're like, you're just so nonchalant. Like you never show any emotion, but
oh, that pisses them off.
It pisses them off. Like,
trust me, I've been there.
Like I came over one day, she cooked for me. She's like, "Did you like it?" It was good.
It was cool.
I'm never cooking for you again. But
I think we're kindred spirits,
so
my friend.
my last job I had was last job I will ever have. I was working at prison, and I was an officer that carried the firearm. And this was, I guess, this was a stressful moment because, like I said, my mother worked there, and I had an accident one day. I come back from the whole weekend. I was escorting an inmate to the hospital because they send them to the hospital if they get sick, but you got to have officers with them. And get back to the
you want to switch real quick, bro?
Oh, I'm gonna give him so much shit for this afterwards, guys. Don't worry.
Fuck y'all. It's really cool.
I had an accident with the gun because I've had a gun permit since I was 18. So I always carry a pistol. I don't know more, but I don't feel like I need one like I used to when I was a little younger. But I always when I take my magazine out, I make sure there's nothing in the mag, and nothing's loaded. So I did the same thing this day, but my partner was kind of over my shoulder. So I'm like, hey man, go turn in a vehicle so we can go home. I stick the gun in the barrel, and I pulled the trigger to just release the firing mechanism. And my dumb ass left the magazine in there. So it shot one off.
Oh, shit.
And I'm not, like, freaking out or nothing. I'm like, fuck, I messed up. They're going to fucking do something. Oh, yeah. It was big shit to them. To me, I'm like, just let me go home. I'm tired.
Cut that bitch off.
They're like, no. They're like, oh, no, you must be, you're in shock, and we're going to take you to the hospital and check your blood and shit. And I'm like, the whole thing, I'm like, man, I'm embarrassed because I'm embarrassing my mother. She works here. Everybody knows me because of my mother. So I'm like, I was just in a bad mood about that. They wouldn't let me drive my own car home. I had some booty waiting on me. They're like, no, we're going to drive you home.
They for real told you can't.
No, they took me to the hospital, checked my blood. Then they didn't check blood, but they gave me a piss test. Then they drove me all the way home from Plainfield to Indianapolis.
Damn.
In my car.
Damn.
They wouldn't let me drive home. They felt like I was in shock or I was going to harm myself. I'm like, motherfucker, I've been carrying a gun since I was 18. Was high.
Jesus.
They probably did.
They probably thought he was high. Here, take this real quick. We're gonna test your urine.
That's pretty stressful, though.
But yeah, they didn't penalize me for that accident. I lost my job because I had dirty piss.
Oh,
we've all been there.
Happen.
So again,
100%.
I was kind of
at least
like, I was stressed.
Don't look at me.
I was stressed out because of that, because I'm like, man, they're gonna look at my mom like.
Yeah, that's a different set of
you know what I mean?
circumstances for sure.
But that was my last job. I'm glad I got fired.
Yep. It set you on a different path.
Because I was never going to quit that job. I was going to cut hair on the side and work at the prison. It was easy money. You never do nothing.
Everything happens for a reason.
That was a fire,
Every
fire
interaction.
under the ass type deal right there.
So a story that I think you thought wasn't going to be that big a deal turned into a good fucking story
that's a major,
and inspirational.
That's a major life event for you.
Yeah,
Do you realize like that was probably the stepping stone for you to?
I do, man.
This is my.
I was never leaving that job, man.
Yeah.
I was the man at the prison. All the officer ladies wanted me.
Here we go.
Hey, I like ironing my uniform every day and shining my shoes and shit.
This dude right here, bro.
Hey,
Juice.
It was a good time.
Juice. God, bro. Every mom that comes up here, hey, honey, how you doing? You know,
What's up?
I see him posted up like, hey, you know, I'm like, damn. I'm trying to be like you.
Hey,
Any single
mamas out there.
any single moms want to take care of a hardworking 24-year-old.
This little motherfucker need a role model over here.
So to pivot to you, Johnny, what's your moment? Because you're the one who asked the question.
Yeah, I know, but I've got like 7, so I'm gonna go with
man, bragger over here. Had a lot of stressful moments.
I'm an emotional creature, and I own that.
Hey, we right here, bro. We on the same vibe. Right
So I was in a hostage situation once when I was a teenager, like in a junior high school, actually. So this is. Space was around, and there was no Facebook, Twitter, and all that shit.
Shout out to MySpace.
Shout out to MySpace.
They were so far ahead of their time.
Poor guys.
So I was going to Mount. I just transferred to Mount Vernon, and I met a dude there. We was cool, and we met a couple girls from Indiana that went to Avon High School, and they was like, "Yeah, you gonna come to this football game and blah blah blah. We'll party, blah blah blah." They're like, "Yeah, cool. We'll come up, fuck with you." So we go up there. And we decide, like, the buddy that I went with, his dad just so happened to live about 25 minutes away. And his sister lived in the same area. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to smoke one, like, can we get some? So he hit his sister up, and we go over there. We're there for about 5 minutes. He's weighing it out. And then all of a sudden we hear 2 gunshots and somebody beating on the door. And I was like, oh, shit, it just got real. I'm like, okay. And then I look down the hallway, and it's a very small hallway. And his sister's boyfriend is all tweaked out on either meth or heroin, and he's just sitting there with a butcher knife. And I was like, okay, so exit number 1, I ain't fighting no meth head with a butcher knife. Like, I'm 17 years old. I don't know. No, I'm not doing that one. Okay, cool. So we go back to this bedroom, and it's a real intense situation because he's got a few people with him. They're trying to collect drug money from his sister's boyfriend. And they, we're in the middle of nowhere. There's nobody else out here. It was real fucking intense, but like one of the things that scared me was as everybody else is freaking out, I was just chilled. Like I didn't feel nothing. For a little while. Like I remember sitting there, and this is really sad to say, but I remember at one point, like, okay, if I was in prison, how do I survive this? And I was like, oh shit, there's a closet with clothes in it. So if I open that up and there's metal hangers and I straighten that shit out, I can just start stabbing the motherfucker, wrap it around my hands, and if I get a good right hook in and catch him in the neck, like that's just my thinking because I'm 17, I didn't know no better. And I remember vividly being pissed off when I opened up the closet and I saw plastic hangers. I was like, this luxurious bitch that owns this house, god damn. But it was just a really intense situation where like eventually they ended up leaving. They didn't kick in the door or nothing. But it was. But really,
you were worried.
Oh man, I wasn't really though. Like it really taught me a lot about myself because I didn't feel nothing. I was just like, when shit goes down, like I'm just gonna fucking react to it. I'm not like my buddy's freaking out. I'm not gonna say his name just because he went on to become a state police officer. His sister's crying. I've got her crackhead boyfriend sitting in the hallway with a fucking butcher knife, just rocking back and forth. And I'm just sitting there kind of like, whatever happens, happens. I'm going to fucking react to it accordingly. So they end up leaving. And him and I, we went there to get a sack. And he's like freaking out. So he's like, fucking, let's go. So we hurry up out to his little Chevy Cavalier, like a 98 Chevy Cavalier. And
He didn't want to say the name, but he just said the car and
no,
had a sister and now state police officer.
Yeah.
I don't want to name any names, but he's a state police officer.
Yeah. He'll know who it is, but
his address is.
But I ain't gonna say his name.
Nationally, they will
But
not know
anyway,
him.
like this is the fucked up thing about it though, because we're in the middle of nowhere. Like there's nobody left or right for miles. So when we pull scared kids, we're booking it the fuck out of there to try to get somewhere where we feel safe. What we don't think about is these motherfuckers just pulled out of the driveway too, and they either going left or they going right. And we chose left, and he's stepping on the gas, and we come up behind his truck, and then it dawns on us, like we have that moment where we sitting there and we like, oh shit, that's him. And like we ride up on their bumper, and it was just a really intense situation.
What did they do anything?
No, we just
they ignored
zipped
you.
on past them, but it was just like it was like one of those situations where it was like I learned a lot about myself and the people around me, and I realized that like the people around me, when shit really hits the fan, it's not kill or be killed, but it really is, because everybody else is freaking out. As soon as they heard that second gunshot, everybody just flipped out. Like, this crackhead's got a fucking butcher knife. He don't want to pay this dude. The sister's crying. My buddy, like, who I was like, bro, you was saying you was going to go to the army and do this and that, and you, like, crumbling, homie. Like, what are you doing? And everybody's freaking out, and I was just sitting there, and I was just kind of like, all right, man.
Well, that's interesting you said that, because everybody deals with things differently, especially like an intense situation like that. Like, you dealt with it fairly well.
Well, I mean,
fight or flight, man.
I would say that, but like it also scared me because like I had no emotion. I was just sitting there like,
what's up?
So if I go through this hallway, I gotta fight this crackhead to get where I'm gonna go, or I can jump out the second story window.
I don't think you gotta fight the crackhead. The crackhead's just protecting himself.
Well, yeah, that's the problem. You can't predict what a crackhead with a butcher knife is gonna do in a very narrow hallway. But it did kind of scare me, but it also like made me proud because I was like, man, like I just kind of sat there and I was just like, whatever happens, happens. If he gets here, I know he's gonna go through the crackhead with the butcher knife because the projectile versus the butcher knife, we know what's gonna happen there. So if I just kind of motion myself here, as soon as he comes through this room, the sister's dead first because she just sitting there crying. And then it's kind of like, I got to hope I get one lucky shot in and hope I can skirt out of there.
You definitely thought through that quite a bit.
Dude, I really did. I dead ass. Before I opened that closet.
Hey, bro, sorry your sister's going to go.
I'll never forget that in there, and I thought I was so cool because I was like, oh shit, I can just grab this metal hanger, flatten it out, straighten it out, and if I like wrap it around my hands, I can just start stabbing this motherfucker with punches. Oh. And I open up that closet and I was like, oh, it's plastic, fuck. All right. We just gonna deal with it. And yeah, that was a really intense situation. It just kind of.
But you made it out, and you learned about yourself.
There's other times where like I was buying drugs and people pulled pieces out, and you know. Learned a lot about myself because I was just like, oh, I'm either fucking dead or.
I mean, there's really not a lot you can do in that because I've been in that situation. Right. I'm like, hey, probably what you're selling me is not real, but you got your gun right there, so I'm just going to go ahead and take that.
Like, they got what I want, but it's like, well, we want your money. It's like, fuck.
I don't know.
Please don't pull a.
Right. I just must have dealt with a little bit.
What about you?
Okay, so. Sheesh. Your question was toughest or stressful?
Toughest or most stressful?
So I'm gonna go different. I'm gonna go toughest. So in 2016, when I'm in the middle of doing what I love most, with cutting hair, I was a junior in college. I'm sitting here cutting hair, hanging out with 10, 15 of my homies. My dad calls me. I didn't answer him. I'm chopping up. My brother calls me. Didn't answer. They both texted me the same shit. Hey, call me when you can. Love you. I stop in the middle of my cut because I feel something's wrong. Mm-hmm. Call my dad. My sister passed away that morning. She was 31. This was in 2016. And it's wild because I knew before I even called him because she had previously had problems with her kidney because it's a hereditary issue. That's how she passed, and I knew she had passed away, and that really made me realize how messed up I was. Dealing with just all teenage stuff, being 14 years old, parents divorcing,
Oh, is that where you were at? You were 14?
No, I was.
No,
at that
he
time,
was in college.
I was 21 at the
okay,
time. I was 21 at the time, but this is like it was all basically a domino effect, but that drastic event of my sister passing made me realize like, holy shit, I need to talk about stuff. And guess what I did? I bottled everything up, just like a guy does. And then it all really came crashing down within the past year. And that is why I feel like my story is more of just recovery.
Yep.
And I'm pushing through everything. I'm doing great. This is the happiest I've ever been.
Good.
This is the best I've ever been.
It's so important sometimes to.
By far.
This is a word that I use a lot that I don't think people appreciate very much, but sometimes you got to kind of detach from life and fucking figure it out, But your story, like following you, man, you are a legitimate inspiration.
Nah, man, I'm not. No, man.
Don't even try to fucking give me that humble smile right now because he sees it too. And he's proud of you. I can tell by how he's looking. Like you legitimately are an inspiration, man.
I'm Darrin, bro. Hoss, whatever you want to call me, bro.
I appreciate the humbleness, but fucking accept it, bro. You are an inspiration, my man.
I truly, truly appreciate all the love and respect that everybody's given me the past 6-7 years, even throughout life in general. Family support, my best friend supporting me. AP, you guys, it's a really, really good feeling, and that I know that people are there for me.
For sure.
And that's something that, like, I think social issues in general that a lot of people ignore. That some people feel so lost and so alone, but in reality, there are people there for you.
Yep.
So don't take certain steps to.
It's so important to understand that.
Yeah. Everything happens for a reason. I stress that. Because even though something's so negative, a breakup will crush you, but look at what you're taking from that breakup.
Right.
Experience. Something from that person didn't work well with you. So take what did work well with them and know what's best for you.
Absolutely.
And that doesn't apply to relationships. It applies to life.
Right.
So be positive about a negative situation.
Hell yeah.
You need to meet our buddy Ian.
Oh yeah. Be a good time. That'd be good.
Oh,
That'd be a
I
good
guarantee
podcast.
you guys would
Let's
hit
do
it
it.
off instantly. He's 170
I know who he
champ.
is. I know who he is.
He's maybe,
You know how I am with MMA. I'm huge on it, man. So
you guys,
I met Ian before.
can we get Tony versus Khabib, please?
Well, no,
Please-
not
please.
now. Not with Corona.
whoa, bro. First off, who do you think would win?
Not COVID-19.
Okay, so I love Tony.
Come on.
I love Tony, but Khabib just has this way of fucking wrapping you up like an anaconda.
But Tony, dude,
But
is a dog. bro.
Tony's-
I've never seen anything like Tony. He's just
from anywhere.
Bro.
From anywhere.
my
He's gonna
all-time,
get
bro.
you.
My all-time favorite fighter, Diaz brother.
Oh,
But
me.
you know what I'm saying? But Tony is just like
turned up.
a turned-up version of them,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. He just
He's dirty,
Like,
bro.
if Khabib wraps you up, it's hard. But Tony's not the kind of guy that gets wrapped up. And then
It's a good fight, bro.
He's just gonna catch you in a way that it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I think that is 100% one of those Joe Rogan moments where Joe Rogan's like, oh, and they freak out. I want to see it. I gotta see it.
I can't wait for Thug Rose to come back.
Oh God,
Thug Rose.
it's got to be Rose.
Thug Rose.
It's got to be Rose versus Joanna, right?
No, bro. What? That is
You don't.
Bro, first off, Joanna won that fight.
Thank you.
She won that fight. it just didn't look like she did. She 100% won that fight. Secondly, Rose beat her twice, bro.
They've already fought. I didn't know
Joanna?
that. I didn't know that.
Joanna and Rose?
Yeah, I didn't know
They
that.
fought twice, bro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Rose knocked her out. The
Yeah,
first fight, won the belt, and
I
then
did not
they
know
ran
that.
it back, and she whooped on her again.
I did not know that.
And
So
then-
I'm just gonna humbly.
Know your role. Shut your mouth. No, but no, yeah. Rose is gonna come back, and she's gonna be champ again.
She's bad.
But yeah, with these kind of conversations that we're having, we got to wrap this up
Yeah, sorry.
because you still got to get your fucking weird main.
That's
done
up. To, that's up
something
to.
with-
That's
with-
up to these.
Your
guys.
main maintained.
Yeah,
That's up to these guys.
And we got these two guys from Against the Grain Barbershop. Did you give your social media?
I did not. Antwon Pay on Facebook. AP_the_barber on Instagram.
Hell yeah.
And you can also follow our barbershop page. It's ATG Barbershop 317.
Hell yeah. ATG Barbershop 317.
I think I tagged it on Facebook.
And
so
then-
You posted our Facebook page. You tagged the Facebook page on there.
yeah,
Hell
so go there. And
So this has been Juice in the Morning 211, episode 211. It's been the Friday 13th coronavirus episode.
it is Friday the 13th, isn't it?
And coming up,
That's why they were playing that Michael music in Guitar Center. We was like, who's these weird motherfuckers playing Michael Myers while you know?
and coming up next Thursday, it's going to be what, March 19th? March 19th, we are going to be doing a thing that Jonny coined the term, and hopefully the Joe's Girl's okay with it. We're going to be doing Barch Madness, or Barch Madness. So we're going to be playing some games. We're going to be doing the live video. Join in with us because we're actually going to hook up to the internet, do it live, make sure you guys can interact with us. And if you're on 116th Street or anywhere on the Indianapolis, join us because we're going to party. Like, I know that the coronavirus has canceled a lot of things. If you want to have some games and you want to have some competition, you want to enjoy yourself, come out to Joe's Grill on 116th Street at about, I think I'm going about noon. I think I'm going to do lunch there.
I'm
Start
gonna
day
get a
drinking.
fat fucking steak.
Yeah,
and
start
just
day
act
drinking
like an
and
asshole.
eat there, and have my antibiotics of tequila and my just my normal vitamins of Corona.
Hey, people.
Corona light beer.
Wash your fucking hands.
Yeah, wash your hands.
And your dick.
Don't be dirty. Don't be dirty. And join us for Barch Madness at Joe's Grill on 116th Street. And as we get the hell out of here, we're gonna finish it up with just a little bit of. Come on, you fucker. There we go. So once again, thank you guys from Against the Grain Barbershop. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having
Good
me.
podcast.
Appreciate you guys. All love. Shout out to Juice in the Morning.
We'll see you guys next week.
I hope the juice is worth the squeeze.
Shane might choke you out for saying that.
Right on, fellas.
Thank you.
All over the place.
That's the best stuff right there.
No, it was good.
That was a
I
good
just
one.
had to stand up. My ass was falling.
Me
off.
too.
I know.
This
That's
hard-
why I hate bar stools, man. Like, I gave them to you guys,
That
but
shit hurts. Ooh, stand up.
That's why I had to go take a leak. I was like, man, my ass is killing me.
we'll actually do that. All right, saving that. I'm going to throw these out. I don't know. You for real about getting this haircut? I don't know. Is that what he's trying to do?
I suppose.